Okay, we're back with problem number 3, and problem number 3 has us finding the perimeter of two shapes. The perimeter of the rectangle and the triangle shown are the same. Write an equation to represent this situation and solve for x. Then find the perimeter of each shape. This problem's a little bit short, but it has a lot of information packed into just those few short sentences. The first thing I see is the word perimeter. That's a really important word. Do you remember what perimeter means? The perimeter is the distance around the shape, and to find the distance around the shape, you have to add all the sides together. So it tells me the perimeter of the rectangle and the triangle are the same. So in math, what do we use to show that two things are the same? An equal sign. So I know that the perimeter of that rectangle is equal to the perimeter of that triangle. And I'm just using a little bit of abbreviation so as to not write out that word perimeter twice. Write an equation to represent this situation and solve for x. Right there in that one sentence, two things I'm supposed to do. I have to write an equation and I have to solve for x. When I take my EOC in the spring of 2021, they might give me equations to pick. I might have to type in an equation. I don't know what they're going to ask me. They might instead ask me to solve for x. Or they might ask me what this final sentence asks me. Then find the perimeter of each shape. So I have several things to do. I have to, 1, write an equation. 2, solve for x. 3 and 4 is find the perimeter of each shape, and there's 2 shapes. So 4 answers altogether, so we better get started. So let's start with finding the perimeter of a rectangle. So I know that in a rectangle, these 2 sides are the same, and these 2 sides are the same. So instead of adding this plus this plus this plus this, similar to the last problem, I'm going to use multiplication to shorten that up. So I'm going to replace the perimeter of the rectangle with 2 times 3x minus 0.5 or 5/10, and I'm adding 2 of these sides, 5x minus 2. That's going to be equal to the perimeter of the triangle. I notice that these 2 sides are the same. So instead of writing them twice, I'm going to write 2 times 2x plus 3. And then I'm going to add on the third side at the end. I'm sorry, this looks kind of crooked. I apologize. It's hard, I got to reach over there. Okay, so let's go ahead now and multiply out all of our distributive properties that we have. We have 1, 2, 3. So here we go. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 5/10 makes 1 whole. 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 3 is 6. And this has no distributive property. I'm just going to bring it down. Okay, our next step now is to combine like terms. So my like terms on the left side are 6x and positive 10x, and then negative 1 and negative 4. So 6x plus 10x makes 16x. Negative 1 and negative 4 make negative 5. On the right side, I have 4x plus 10x. And then I have a positive 6 and a negative 5. So that would be 14x plus 1. Okay, so now that I have a variable on both sides, I'm going to take the smallest one and do the opposite. So I have a positive 14x. The inverse of that is negative 14x. So I'm going to subtract 14x or add negative 14x on both sides. So that gives me 2x minus 5 equals positive 1. So now I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I have 2x equals 6. And thank goodness I can fit that last step just barely on my board. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So my answer is x equals 3. And how many of us want to just box that and say, woo, move on to the next problem? Don't be tempted to do that. We had to do 4 things. We wrote our equation, check. We solved for x, check. Now I have to find the perimeter of each shape. So I need to replace x with 3 and find the perimeter of each shape. So here, that would mean that I need to take 3 times 3 minus 5/10. And here, 5 times 3 minus 2. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 0.5 is 8.5. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 2 equals 13. And remember, I have 2 of those sides, so I have 2 times 8.5, 2 times 13, and then I'm going to need to add those answers together to get my perimeter. So 2 times 8.5 is 17, 2 times 13 is 26. When I add this together, 7 plus 6 is 13, 2, 3, 4. I get a perimeter of 43. Can you see that? It was a little small, wasn't it? Okay, now let's go over here. So each of those sides is 2x plus 3. So 2 times 3 plus 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. That means this one is also 9. So I have 2 times 9. And that would be 18, and I need to add to that whatever I get when I substitute this one. So 10 times 3 minus 5 would be 30 minus 5, which is 25. So 18 and 25, well, isn't that funny? I got 43. Oh yeah. At the beginning, it said the perimeter of the rectangle and triangle are the same. Did I really have to find both? I didn't. Okay, I really only needed to find one. And if I found one, it would be the same as the other because it said they were the same. Okay, so I've now done all the things that it asked me for, and I am now done with problem number 3.